Title: AITA for suggesting that my sister chose an easy love. Verdict: asshole. My younger sister and I used to be really close when we were kids, but as adults we've drifted apart. For context, we were born into a fairly well-to-do Hindu family from a pretty small, tight-knit community. Our parents are very traditional, and growing up it was always understood that we were supposed to marry within our religion, and ideally, within our specific community. I ended up doing the exact opposite of what they wanted. I fell in love with a Muslim man, Nicholas, and I married him. As part of that, I converted to his religion. My family was furious when this happened. There were a lot of arguments, a lot of tears, and for a while I thought they might cut me off completely. They didn't, but things were never the same. They made it very clear they were disappointed in me, and I always felt like the problem child who brought shame to the family. Even now, years later, they still make little comments. My mom will say things like, "If only you had met a nice boy from our community," or "My dad will go quiet when my marriage comes up." We're in touch, but there's always this tension under the surface. I've had to fight for my relationship, for my choices, and for my place in the family. Recently, my younger sister Felicity announced that she was in love and planning to get married. My mom decided to host a girls' day at my parents' house so we could all spend time together. Just my mom, my sister, and me. She framed it as a fun, bonding day, and I was honestly excited. I thought maybe this would be a chance for us to reconnect and for me to be included in something big in my sister's life. When I got there, everything seemed light and happy at first. We had snacks, my mom made tea, and we sat in the living room while Felicity told us all about her fiancé. She went on about how they met while trekking, how they initially hated each other, how they kept bumping into each other on the trail, and how over time that turned into friendship and then love. It sounded like one of those movie stories, and I was genuinely happy for her. I told her it sounded romantic and that I was glad she'd found someone. Then I asked a simple question: what religion is he? I wasn't trying to start anything. I was just curious, especially given how my parents had reacted to my marriage. I expected some tension, no matter what she said, because my parents can be difficult. But I was not prepared for her answer. She said, very casually, that he was Hindu. Not just Hindu, but from the exact same small community as our parents. Same background, same traditions, same everything. Basically, he was the textbook perfect match in our parents' eyes. I felt this weird mix of shock and disbelief. I know how tiny our community is, and how much pressure there has always been to marry within it. It just seemed so convenient. I asked her if she was absolutely sure she loved him, because it felt almost too perfect, like something our parents would have arranged. Felicity immediately got defensive. She said, "Of course I love him. Why would you even ask that?" She was clearly offended, but I couldn't shake the feeling that this was all a little too easy compared to what I went through. I told her that it just seemed unbelievable that she would randomly meet someone from our tiny community while trekking and then fall in love. I said it almost felt like our parents had picked him out of a catalogue. I tried to explain that, in my experience, real love often comes with challenges, and that when you choose someone who fits every box your parents and society want, it can be hard to know if you're doing it for yourself or for them. I suggested that maybe part of why she felt so strongly about him was because there were no obstacles, no religious conflict, no cultural clash, no family drama. I said something along the lines of, maybe you think you're in love because it's easy and there are no challenges involved. She got really angry at that. She told me that love doesn't have to be hard to be real, that she wasn't some child trying to please our parents, and that she knew her own feelings. She said I was being rude and insulting her relationship. I told her I wasn't trying to insult her, that I was just looking out for her. I said I didn't want her to wake up one day and realize she'd chosen someone just because he was the right kind of man on paper. I asked her directly if she was marrying him to appease our parents, or because she truly, deeply loved him as a person, separate from all that. That was the breaking point. She completely blew up. She started yelling that she was not me, that she didn't need to rebel to prove anything, and that she didn't have to suffer to make her love real. She said I was projecting my own issues onto her, and trying to ruin her happiness. My mom, who had been mostly quiet up to that point, suddenly turned on me. She didn't say anything to calm my sister down. Instead, she told me to get out of the house. Not both of us, just me. It was very clear whose side she was on. I left, feeling stunned and hurt. Later, my sister sent me a message telling me never to contact her again. She said I was toxic, that I couldn't stand to see her happy, and that I was not welcome at her wedding or in her life. From my perspective, I was just trying to protect her from blindly following what our parents and our community expect. I know how heavy those expectations can be, and I didn't want her to end up living a life chosen for her instead of by her. But now I'm wondering if I crossed a line by questioning her feelings and implying her relationship was somehow less valid because it was easy. AITA for suggesting that my sister chose an easy love.